Okay, I am going to show you a quick video on how to make a 3-year diary, a DIY 3-year diary. And I got this idea from my daughter, who told me that she got her boss a 5-year diary, which is popular right now. And so I went online and I was looking to see what these diaries were. She thought it was a really great idea. Anyway, I found this on eBay for really cheap, and this is a 5-year diary, but it's an antique, and it's actually on a wooden kind of base. It's made in Japan, according to the label on the back. But the cool thing about this is 5-year diary, and it's used. It's a little bit used, but I like the history of it. It has a lock. It doesn't have a key. Anyway, the cool thing about this is it's leather and it's embossed, as you can see, and foiled, but a kid got it from his grandparents. Let's see, the kid's name is Our Darling Billy. Love Mother and Daddy. Merry Christmas. And so he started writing in this in 1939. And so as you can see, the idea behind a 5-year diary is just a few lines a day. And this boy only lasted 5 days. So I have 5 days of entries from a kid back in 1939, which I love. I think it's great. It's fun history. But it gives you an idea. So January 1st, let's get to that. January 1st, 1939, he wrote this one. And then the following year, January 1940, he would have wrote right here. And then you can compare what happens on that day in the 5 consecutive years. So it's a great idea, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to use this. Partially because I like to use fountain pens. I like the different inks and all the fun stuff you can do with a fountain pen. But so I just wasn't sure if I wanted to use this. I probably will someday, but for right now, I'm not. So, but I still wanted to make myself one, but I wanted to use items that I have already. And since I am a fountain pen fan, Tomoe River, which some of you may or may not be familiar with, is an excellent paper. It's a Japanese paper, and it's very, very thin, so you can, almost like Bible paper, Bible page paper. So you can actually see some shadowing on the back side, but that doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that, and I'll show you some more of that. Anyway, I have this little notebook. This is a, I believe it's an A6 size. Yes, it is. It's an A6 size. And this is a cafe notebook by Nanami Paper Company. And it's a Tomoe River notebook. And it's small. You can see the sizes here, but it has 384 pages in it. And of course, to make your diary, you need at least 365 pages in it, right? So this is perfect. Let me take this out of the slipcover. I've already started using this, and I like to decorate my covers. So that's what I just did. I just took a dip pen and Dr. P.H. Martin gold ink, copper plate ink, and then I also put a wax seal on there. And I just jazz up my covers because that's what I like to do. It's my notebook. I can do what I want, right? So anyway, this is the Tomoe River paper. And it's excellent paper. But the thing that's unique about this notebook is the grid layout. You have a large box up at the top. Then you have your grid. But down at the bottom, you have these 3 rectangles. And when I first got this, I wasn't sure how to use these spaces. But after I found out the idea of the 5-year notebook, I decided, well, I can use this to make myself a 3-year notebook. So that's what I've done. And I just wanted to come on here and show you how I've done this really quick. And hopefully my lighting will stay okay. So I started in January. I just put a little title in there. I actually didn't start this until a little bit later than January 1st. So I've just left January 1st, the 2nd and the 3rd blank, the 4th and the 5th blank. And then I started doing this on January 7th. And the great thing is I'm using these boxes effectively now. when I write on here, I turn it sideways like this, but that doesn't bother me. That works just fine for me. It's not a problem. Now, the idea of this type of journal or diary is to just hit the highlights of your day. It doesn't have to be deep and scary or full of angst, things like that. It's not really that kind of diary or journal. Just, you know, the highlights of your day, whether it's good or bad or whatever, but just short entries. That's what helps keep it workable. So all I've done is I have taken a ruler and a pen and just extended these boxes up. See, I have the 3 grid boxes down here. I've just extended those up. And then I've written the month and the day up at the top, and then I write the year at the bottom. So January 7th of 2019, I'll come back to this exact same page and I'll put in another entry. Now, I have this washi tape up here because I like it. It's pretty. Because if you look at the layout here on this, and here's one that I've extended the lines, you have the box up here, so this line doesn't go all the way through. And I just, you know, you can have the extra space if you want for that year, or you can just put washi tape up there and just keep all the boxes the same size, which is what I have done in mine. So, super simple, right? And so you can see how I put the washi tape up there. And I've gone through, and you know, the washi makes it pretty, but again, you don't have to do that. You can put a little quote, something up there. You can put other stickers. You can leave it blank so you just have a little bit more room for your other boxes if you want. Now, this notebook is made for fountain pens, but it uses any kind of pen. This paper is truly incredible. It'll even take watercolor. It's not made out of wood like normal paper is. But this is a piece of blotter paper, because when you have a really wet writing ink pen, fountain pen, it doesn't dry very fast. So you put the blotter paper in there and you just leave it there and you let it dry so it doesn't imprint onto the other side. So that's just what that is. And I have a little special note from my husband that I stick on that day, that next year I'll come back to January 23rd and I'll see my husband's little note on when I get there for 2019. So you can put little nice things in there, but it's a lot of fun. And again, I like using all different colors of ink, making it pretty. So I have started on February. I didn't do this all at once because I knew it would just wear me out doing 365 pages, right? So I basically been building it up 1 month at a time. Today is February 2nd. So I have February 1st. I have my little washi up there, and that's what it looks like without the washi. You know, but what I'll do is I'll end up just taking some of my washi tape. I might just stick with the same washi tape on this day just because I love that washi tape. The cranes on there are just so pretty. So, and so far I don't have the washi up there, which is fine, but I will go through here too. And I stopped writing the line all the way up because some of my washi is translucent, so you can see the pen mark going all the way up sometimes, and I don't really care for that, so I've decided to stop that. So we are on February 10th there, and hang on a second, I gotta get my pen. I forgot my pen. Okay. And again, I like to use fountain pens because look at that. This is beautiful. This is a TWSBI, TWSBI, you pronounce it TWSBI, and it's called a demonstrator, which means it's see-through, and you can see the ink in it. So it's just beautiful, and when the sun shines on it, look at the rainbows it makes. I mean, that is one of the things why I love fountain pens. They're just beautiful. So, and this is full of what's Noodler's ink. Noodler's is the brand of fountain pen ink. And this one is, I can't remember what this one is. I think it's Apache Sunset. So basically, I draw my lines up, okay? I've extended my lines up. Now I'm filling out my month and my day and then the year. So this needs to be February 11th. And this is what's called a stub nib. It's a wide nib. I don't know if that's going to focus on that where you can tell, but it gives kind of an italic look. And it makes your writing look really nice. So again, we're doing February 11th. So you just put the day and the date up there, and then you put the year at the bottom. 2018, 2019, and 2020. See, this is a great way to use what I already have, right? So February 12th will be this one. See, it utilizes these boxes, which I didn't really know what to use them for previously. Oops, that's 2020, not 21. That's what happens when you start talking. Okay, so that is ready for washi tape. And I'm just going to use this washi again. Where's my little scissors? Okay, so all I did was, these are 2-inch long sections right here. So I'm just going to cut off some of my washi in a 2-inch section. And I'm going to go with these cranes again because I just love this washi tape. It's one of my very favorites. I don't have a whole lot of washi, so... but I live in Alaska and we have long dark winters, so having sunshiny washi tape in the middle of winter is a happy thing. It's a good thing. And February, our daylight is starting to come back, but it's still pretty dark, so having sunny washi is a very good thing. And I know my hands are making shadows. I can't really get my angle very good here, but that'll work. And I'm going to peel that up after I'm off camera because I can't get at the right angle, otherwise I'll accidentally hit the camera. But there you go. So that's what I have there. And I'll straighten up my edges and get that centered correctly. But there we go. That's my 3-year diary date. So, because again this is fountain pen ink and it can stay a little bit wet, I'm just going to put the blotter paper in between there. And I'm just going to go along here and I'm going to draw out my lines. As you can see, I've already done that on some days. And it's super simple, you know, I'm sure everybody can figure this out on their own. Just take a ruler. That was my son's ruler from grade school, which he's not in grade school anymore. He's actually in his 20s, so this is a very old ruler. And I just line it up with the bottom grid here, with the bottom box. And I just darken up that line just for a nice separation right along the grid. And again, I'm not going all the way to the top of the page on this part of the grid, because I'm going to put washi tape there. So there we go. And I'll just do that, you know, for the whole month. And then again, I will just sew. I have all these exactly like my pages here. And I just need to grab my fountain pen again. I like to use the same fountain pen ink to do the dates for the month. The following month, in March, I'll use a different color. January, I used a real pretty rich golden brown for the days and the dates and the years. And so for February, I'm using this real pretty sunset orangey yellowish color. And that would be February 13th. 2018, 2019, and 2020. So you get the idea. And then, you know, put your washi tape there at the top. Beautiful, perfect. It's a great, great idea. It's not overwhelming because the entries are so small. And, you know, you just hit the highlights of your day. I also like to put in the day that it was because January 25th of this year, it was Thursday. January 25th of next year, it won't be Thursday. So I like to put in the day of the week it was. And then I also like to put in the temperature and a little bit of the weather. On the 25th of January, it was Thursday, 3 degrees, and it snowed all day long. Super icy under the snow. So, and then I just write down little highlights of my day. If I have a little love note from my husband, oh, on this day, it actually wasn't a love note. We had a 7.9 earthquake here in Alaska. And it was a little, you know, concerning. But fortunately, there wasn't any injuries and there was no tsunami. So, great thing here. And I also, this same notebook, this same design notebook comes in an A5, which is like a 8.5 by 5.5 size. So if you want a bigger one, I have one here, so you can see what it looks like. I have it put into my Oberon journal cover. This is a custom leather cover made by Oberon Designs, which are just a fantastic company. So if you ever want a beautiful leather cover for your notebook or all kinds of things, check out Oberon Designs. Anyway, this is an A5 Crossfield. Same grid design, same paper design as on this little one that I make in my 3-year diary, this B6. But this one has a 4 grid on the bottom and exactly the same on the top. So you can actually get one of these A5 sizes and make a 4-year diary. How many pages does this one have? This one has 480 pages. The small one actually has more pages. It has, oh no, I'm sorry, 480 pages on the A5, 384 pages on the small one. So, but because this paper is so thin, it's not a huge, thick, bulky notebook. You know, this is less than an inch thick. So beautiful, beautiful stuff. Beautiful paper and a great way to use these Nanami notebooks, these grid notebooks that they use. Now I want to show you a little bit of the shading that you can see through the page. Because again, this is thin paper, but inks don't bleed through it unless you use like a Sharpie. I think a Sharpie might. Sharpies bleed through everything. But as you can see, this written on the back side, right here, you can see some shadows of that on this side right here and right here. That doesn't bother me. As soon as you're right on top of that, you're not even going to notice what's behind it. It's really not a problem. And so if that bothers you, then this probably isn't your kind of thing, but you know, honestly, you won't even notice it once you write over it on the opposite side. So, and you can also use a lighter ink, but you still actually see it. So, you know, it's just one of the way this paper is that it's very thin, but inks don't bleed through it. But you do have that ghosting look. So, something to be aware of. Anyway, so I wanted to share that 3-year diary, and I hope some of you, you know, check out Nanami paper. Let me put this here again. And you can just do a search for like a 7Cs notebook or a cafe note, or you can just go to the website. Check them out. They're excellent. And make yourself a 3-year or 4-year diary. And as far as Tomoe River paper, notebooks made out of this paper are very expensive. Nanami has the very best prices that you will find anywhere for a Tomoe River paper notebook, and the quality is excellent. I cannot say enough about this company. There's other companies out there that make Tomoe River paper notebooks, but you're going to pay a lot more than what you'll pay at Nanami paper. Plus, these people are based in the US, so you don't have to wait for it to be shipped from Japan or some other country. So, excellent company. And I hope you check them out and make yourself one. All right, thanks. Have a great day. Goodbye.